Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake from Todaysiphone.com, and here's your TIP Daily for March 21st, 2013. Okay, now the first story of the day is that J.D. Power & Associates has released its first mobile phone satisfaction survey of 2013, and not surprisingly, the iPhone came out on top. Smartphones are rated based on performance, design, features, and ease of use, and out of the 1,000-point scale, the iPhone scored the top score of 855, with its highlights being the physical design and the ease of operation. Now, although Apple came out on top, the whole smartphone industry improved an average of 22 points over this time last year, so things are definitely looking up across the board. Alright, moving on, you may remember a couple weeks ago we talked about a leak promo for Google Now for iOS that hit the web and then was very quickly pulled off of YouTube. Basically, Google Now is Google's answer to Siri. It tells you a bunch of really cool location-based information now, right when you need it. So it's definitely a great feature on Android phones, and obviously iOS customers were more than a little bit excited when an inkling hit the web that suggested that perhaps we would get this feature as well. Now, we haven't heard anything about it until today, but Schmidt went on record as saying that the only thing stopping Google Now from being on iOS devices now is Apple's app approval process. They're still waiting to get approval, and Google has had some luck with getting approved with applications, and sometimes they've been denied, so it's really anyone's guess at this point. Some of Apple's app approval practices are just completely nonsensical, at least to me. So fingers crossed that this does get approved. If it doesn't, Google will probably go back in, tweak the things Apple didn't like, and resubmit it. So I'd say that even if it does get denied, don't lose hope. But yeah, it's great to know that there's a potential, and hopefully sometime soon we'll get Google Now on our iOS devices. Okay, and we're going to finish up today with a rumor coming out of DigiTimes about the iPhone 5S. Now, I know that in the past, DigiTimes hasn't been entirely accurate, but this latest report seems pretty believable. According to the report, components and parts for the iPhone 5S will begin shipping to assembly plants in May, which would set the release date for the iPhone 5S at the third quarter of this year. Now, this goes against a rumor yesterday that claimed that Apple would announce the iPhone 5S and the iPad 5 in the last week of June. Now, that didn't make a lot of sense, especially because WWDC is right around there, and if Apple was going to announce these devices, they'd probably do it then. So at least according to this rumor, WWDC will not have any new devices, which sounds like a huge bummer until you remember that last year at WWDC, it was totally software focused. And honestly, if there's one thing that the iPhone really needs right now, it's a huge software update. iOS is looking really dated, and I'm really excited to see what Apple has in store for iOS 7 coming up. So I can wait on getting a new iPhone if Apple really wows us with the software. Okay, well, that's all the big news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, do you agree with me about the hardware versus software? Like, would you rather see a really awesome new iOS 7 before an iPhone 5S? Or do you just totally care about the hardware and want the iPhone 5S as soon as possible? You can let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at TIP_Jake. Please don't forget the links to everything I talked about in this video in the description down below, so definitely check those out. And as always, for more news, views, and reviews, don't forget to hit up todaysiphone.com.